The following program, though incredibly nerdy, is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised, and you probably shouldn't watch if you're an overly sensitive pussy.
Sit alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Oh, that shit is on? Let me drop some shit like this here. At night I can't sleep, I toss and turn. Candlesticks in the dark, visions of bodies being burned. Four walls just staring at a nigga. I'm paranoid, sleeping with my finger on the trigger. My mother's always stressing I ain't living right, but I ain't going out without a fight. See, every time my eyes close, I start sweating and blood starts coming out my nose. It's somebody watching the act, but I don't know who it is, so I'm watching my back. I can see him when I'm deep in the covers. When I awake, I don't see the motherfucker. He owns a black hat like I own, a black suit and a cane like my own. Some might say take a chill, B, but fuck that shit. There's a nigga trying to kill me. I'm popping in the clip when the wind blows. Every 20 seconds got me peeping out my window. Investigating the joint for traps. Taking my telephone for taps. I'm staring at the woman on the corner. It's fucked up when your mind is playing tricks on you.
I make big money, I drive big cars, everybody know me. It's like I'm a movie star, but late at night, something ain't right. I feel I'm being tailed by the same sucker's headlights. Is it that fool that I ran off the block? Or is it that nigga last week that I shot? Or is it the one I beat for $5,000? Thought he had cane, but it was gold, met a flower. Reached under my seat, grabbed my papa for the suckers. Ain't no use to me lying, I was scared than a motherfucker. Hook the left in the Popeyes and bail down quick. If it's going down, let's get this shit over with. Here they come, just like I figured. I got my hand on the motherfucking trigger. When I saw him, make your ass start giggling. 3 blind, crippling, crazy senior citizens. I live by the swamp. I take my boys everywhere I go because I'm paranoid. I keep looking over my shoulder and peeping around corners. My mind is playing tricks on me.
Day by day, it's
Yeah.
more impossible to cope.
Yeah.
I'm the one that's doing dope. Can't keep a steady hand
A nice little Friday stream, a nice little Friday vibe.
praying for forgiveness.
Catch it if you can.
Find an exit out the business. I know the
Catch the vibe if you can.
it's hard for me to feel happy. I often drift when I drive.
Oh yeah, man, it's gonna be a good day, man. Oh, I'm excited, and I have a special surprise for you all. Today is kind of a special stream, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But how's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? And has everybody had a chance to watch Spider-Man Noir, the greatest gift that's ever been given to us for the fucking comic book movie genre? It saved the comic book movie genre. And I'm gonna gush about it today a little bit more, but yeah, did any of you guys get a chance to check it out? I've been seeing some comments on the Discord, some people checking it out, a lot of people digging it. That's good to see. I really enjoyed it. I started to watch it. Oh, you haven't yet, Trev? Busy, I bet. Yeah, I sat down and watched like 3 episodes in color last night. Just in addition to watching the whole thing in black and white on the watch party, of course. And man, it's good in color too. It kind of pops in color. I like some of the choices they made, and I gotta tell you, like, they deserve a lot of fucking credit for that, dude. And we'll talk more about that in a bit here, but pretty awesome. I am buzzing still from that show, and I'll finish off the color version the whole way through as well. So I'm pretty excited about that. Seen the first 5, great so far. Hell yeah. Vibes on a million. Oh, hell yeah. Only watched the first episode. I'll binge it this weekend. I think a lot of people will probably do that. It's already doing very well, trending. I think it's #1 in 4 big countries, and it's doing really well. But I would imagine a lot of folks will get to it this weekend, and I'm going to be watching it more this weekend too. So that's cool, and hopefully we get some big numbers on it. I've got a lot more to say about it. We'll save it, though. I wrote a couple pages of notes, and I am pretty hyped to talk about it. But there's other things going on as well, of course. Star Wars loses the #1 box office position in the middle of its first week to a horror movie. What the fuck? We'll talk a little bit about that. The Russo brothers posted a green square. And so we got to look way too far into that. Well, I'll do a whole hour on the green square. Don't worry. I think I know what it means. And that X-Men 97 season 2 trailer, dude, we got to watch like a video or something where somebody's breaking that down. I was not even able to really process it fully, but dude, it looks awesome. And so I definitely want, like, you guys got to let me know who did the best breakdown. Like, what's a good breakdown video that we can watch for that? Because seems like they're cooking with gas on that one, man. You know, I know we all have concerns, of course, with Bo, not being there. But I think he gave him a pretty good setup, and I think they have a lot of really cool stuff coming. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Teco says, Lee, so fine. You're not wrong. You're absolutely not wrong. She may or may not have been the main reason I wanted to watch it again in color. In color. Grace has a good breakdown. That's good to know. And maybe we'll watch Grace's breakdown. I'm not necessarily against it. Actually, the truth is I like Grace's content. A lot of you guys don't, though. And you always give me a fucking hard time about it. Okay, so let's not start this early into the stream. Let's keep it chill. Rama Tut in the X-Men 97 trailer, and he's white. Both, what? What the fuck? Okay, well, thanks for that comment. We'll look into that. You know what I mean? We'll talk to HR. We'll see what's up. Screen Crush and Emergency Awesome have good breakdowns. Okay, great. That's good to know. That's good to know. 23 months. Thanks for everything, Josh. Ben, thank you, buddy. Thank you for that support. It seriously means a lot. Okay, so let me talk to a little. Can I tell you guys the surprise? Can I tell you the surprise? Okay, Trev, right on. So, hey, Trev, what are you trying to say? Aren't you doing collective bargaining? Shouldn't you be a little bit more empathetic to other people's perspective? Anyway, all right. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. So, today's kind of a cool stream. And there's something kind of cool about today. And it's basically what it is today will be the last day. The last clips, the last content, and the last regular video, if I do one of those, with this setup in this office. I should have a lot of the new like backdrop stuff. Like we're gonna tear down all this stuff. I have a lot of construction to do in here over the weekend, and I actually might not stream on Monday just to make sure that I get all of this done. But the next time you see me after this stream, and perhaps the clips and the videos, etc. But after this stream, the next time you see me, I will be looking much more professional, as they say. Yeah, we got to upgrade. We're doing a bunch of upgrades to the content. A lot of cool things being cooked. One of them is a visual upgrade, so that we look a little bit. I don't know what's the word. What would be the word? More professional, more legit. More like I do this for a living, goddammit. I don't know. I don't know exactly the phrase, but presentable is a good word. Yeah. We're going to upgrade. Yeah, more solid. Yeah. Too legit to quit. Okay, yes. That we will put that on a shirt. That's great. I don't know. I like the current setup. No! I mean, cool. Yeah, no, I like the current setup too. But trust me, what we have cooking, and it's not just the background. I'm actually going to set up a couple of different cameras and have some cool camera angles where maybe I can turn to the side to have a close up to the camera and be like, I hate it when people say they don't like coming changes when I'm announcing changes being made. It really fucking irritates me. And then like look back to the camera, stuff like that. We're making some production upgrades as well. It's not just the background and the, quality in the cameras and everything like that, but we are, yeah, there's also background stuff. Riley says, nerds, been distant lately and going to have to watch later, but I get to bring my son home from 23 days in the NICU today. Thanks, Josh. The vids help. Well, that's a super big deal, man. And of course, we completely understand. And it is awesome that you're bringing the boy home. That's great. That's fantastic, man. Good for you. Much love. Game Over Jesse says, my theory, Disney put Mando in theaters because even if it makes $1, that $1 more than they could have made from Disney Plus, no one was going to buy Disney Plus for another season of Mando. I guess I understand what you're saying, but it's not even going to make $1. That's what's crazy. It's like, dude, it's going to make minus hundreds of millions. I don't know. Like, it's going to make minus some dollars. So I don't know, brother. Like, that's, I don't necessarily think you're completely off base. I don't agree, though. I don't think that's why they did it. Empire Magazine Spider-Man edition dropped today. Did it really? Is there anything revealed? Anything cool revealed in there? Will you continue with the fire intro? Oh, dude, yeah. We have a lot of cool stuff cooking for intros and all sorts of stuff. I've been waiting, actually. I've been cooking some stuff behind the scenes, and now it's time to kind of implement it all. And, yeah, the back half of this year is going to be crazy. Trust. Good morning. I'll just finish episode 5 of Spider Noir and have to watch slow. Didn't want to miss a live. Haven't been around for a bit. Yeah, appreciate you. House of the Dragon, new I know. I thought it was great. Yeah, dude. I love Spider Noir. Again, I'm gonna gush about it. Do a whole segment on it. But yeah, dude. Watching it again, I was just. It's really good. Like, it's just really good. And also, there's room to grow. And that's cool. It's absolutely fine. I think this show actually is showing us something kind of interesting where it's not a masterpiece right away. It's not flawless, but what it is working with, what it established, like the bones of the show are really good. And they feel at the same time organic and authentic. And there's just like something there. There's like a charm. It's more than the sum of its parts. And yet, yeah, I mean, the action could be tighter. I do think his mouth should move when they have the other guy in the suit, etc. There's little things here and there that can be improved, and I think they will be. And that's what's really special about it is like, damn, if it's, if it's as good as it is, and hopefully as popular as we think it's going to be, with all the blemishes and the rough edges, like imagine what would happen the next season. It kind of reminds me of a great video game. Like I remember playing Xenoverse 1 being like, yeah, this is great, but like, man, Xenoverse 2 is going to fucking slap, dude. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I feel about it. Zinni says Disney should drop all this Mando nonsense and make the Club Shido movie instead. I totally agree. Why haven't they done that by now? Rossi says you should use the kitchen, then cook in the studio. What the fuck? No, but hey, maybe we'll have kitchen-esque lighting. Maybe we'll have more lighting actually going on in here. Maybe it won't be as dark and gloomy. Did you block the keyword kitchen? No, but I should. Xenogears 1 was great. They were eating people. The final boss was Deus Ex Machina. Wait, what? I'm talking about Xenoverse, Dragon Ball. I'm talking about Dragon Ball, Xenoverse. Disney should do a Star Wars Marvel crossover. That sounds like a solid idea. With all this Disclosure Day hype going on, when is your new channel dropping? I'm working on some videos for that. Honestly, just have a lot going on, but I'm definitely working on it. I have a pretty decent script for the first video. Yeah, putting some things together. I didn't want to record anything until I got the new setup done anyways, because the new setup will be for that channel as well. It'll be for all the channels. But yeah. Appreciate you, man. Jabber Nasty says, what's up, Josh? Hope you're doing good. Wait, what? Hope you have a good Friday. Thanks, bud. What characters do you think will make it into the battle world via the Void and the Quantum Realm and Reed's Life Raft? I don't know. One of the things I was kind of thinking about was, so if let's say Toby and Hugh kind of get sucked into the outer verse or whatever and then get pooped out on Battleworld and Secret Wars, that's kind of what it seems like is going to happen with them, right? Well, were there potentially other X-Men or other heroes from different universes that the X-Men destroyed that were also sort of removed from the proverbial chessboard in a similar way. I've been kind of thinking about that. And then I truly think that like the end of the movie with all the universes going against Doom, and then, you know, maybe multiversal variants, and also all the people from Valhalla, I think they're like your standard, that's like your standard Battleworld population. And then, of course, yes, there'll be a lot that survive via the raft or potentially other ways, like, you know, the Champions, Young Avengers, and Yelena and all that. Toby and Hugh get sucked. Well, I mean, one would hope, right? I mean, they didn't put all that work into these incredible careers and do all that acting to not get sucked, I would say. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but yeah, I would hope so. Does he know about Alex Perez's Part 3 Q&A? Stop dropping these things, Alex, every goddamn stream this week. Butter, 1, 2, 3. No, I actually appreciate it. Thank you, Alex. No, I didn't know that. We'll go over it in a second. Have you given your thoughts on Spider Noir? I got 2 pages of notes. Give me a couple minutes. Power Trip OG with the 5 spot. Appreciate you, man. Says, hey, Josh, been sick of Star Wars for a long time. I hear you always talking about Warhammer. What is it? Show, game, video game, comic, movie? Oh, hang on, boys. Oh, it's a serious question. Oh, we got a serious one here. Oh, okay. I'll try to make this brief. Okay, so Warhammer is a science fiction franchise IP universe. It's all of these things. It is unique because it's originally designed as a tabletop war game. And therefore, all of the lore, including all the books and the games, etc., it was all meant to sort of fuel the game. The idea was, oh, I could notice this character, or I'm familiar with this chapter, or these guys have these kind of weapons. It's all to like inform the game or whatever. But what ends up happening is, over years and years and years, this universe has a weird like charm and consistency in how over the top it treated all of its like violence, the grimdark aspects of its morality, even its attachment to mystical esoteric things from actual human history and stuff. Like, you know, there's like, you know, Roman stuff, there's like Viking and Norse stuff, and there's all these really cool things. So Warhammer's like a science fiction universe kind of dialed up to 12, super over the top. It's I think it's very, you know, masculine and testosterone fueled. Yeah, that's probably the best way that I can explain it. It's like a cross between Dune, Star Wars, and Judge Dredd. And it's fucking dope, bro. Like, it just watch some lore videos about Warhammer and you'll start to get it. You'll be like, oh shit, that is at the same time incredibly unhinged and also terrific. And if that sounds good, like, you know, dive a little deeper. That wasn't too bad, guys. What was that, like 2 minutes? Jeez. Everybody gives me a hard time. That was not bad. That was pretty quick. Rossi, thank you for the gifted membership. Much obliged. Warhammer? More like Borehammer. Oh, I never heard that one before, Big Brick 80 fucking fa. How clever of you. Never heard that one. Reception Ultimate, 2 minutes too long. Oh my God. Watch, look at chat. Look at these whiny Star Wars fans that can't fucking handle it. You know? Holy shit. Embrace the God Emperor of mankind. Embrace the Imperium. You'd be so much happier, dude. We want to watch goofy ass Mando Grogu side project 2.5 seasons sucks balls, got beat by some stupid horror movie in the middle of the week. First fucking movie in 7 years. Jon Favreau directed it from his couch on a fucking iPad. You got Deadpool Wolverine guy starring Ryan Gosling, playing "We're sorry what we did to male characters." Let's go see Ray. Look, you did this. Okay? You did this, too. You did this, chat. I was having a good-ass day. The color out of space, 71826A. Yeah, that's not true, but... I mean, I understand why people are saying that, but that's not what it is. It's relatively close to that, though. Let me double-check, actually, before I say that, because maybe it is. It is 717FB... Or sorry, 5B. The RGBs, it's literally confirmed. Like, the RGBs, it's red 113, G 127, and then 91. Look, guys, I know you all. You want to act like you're so fucking smart. Stop. Let Papa teach. Okay, I'll tell you what it is. And you think they just tagged South by Southwest London for no fucking reason? You think it just happens to be the case that they signed this massive deal and their production company is handling the media presence at South by Southwest London? This was announced before the Doomsday announcement. You think that's like, come on, man. Fucking. Anyway. Maybe if there was big titty goth custodian. Jesus. Anyway. What the fuck, dude? You guys are wild today. You guys are wild. Did I watch Backrooms? It was cheeks. I don't even know what Backrooms is. And at this point, I'm afraid to ask. Okay? So let's not talk about that. Okay, I tell you what. Let's do the green square. Since everybody's so fucking curious about the green square. Backrooms was not Cheeks LMFAO fire movie. What? What is Backrooms? What seriously? What is it? Is that the movie that just dethroned Mando Grogu? What's the movie in theaters right now that fucking fried Mando Grogu's ass? Oh, by the way, like that does mean something, and don't worry because we'll talk about what I am sure will be an abysmal drop-off for Mando and Grogu, the kind that should make everybody at Lucasfilm walk around with their asshole puckered up for the next couple of months. We'll talk about that after it's confirmed on Sunday. Obsession is the movie? I don't know what that is either. Obsession made by a YouTuber? Really? Ain't no way. What YouTuber? Was this, oh, it's horror? Okay, yeah. It's a horror movie, yeah, made by Kane Pixels, who's famous on YouTube. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Cool, yeah, good for him. Good for him. Taking out Star Wars. Well done, sir. Well done. That's a bad idea. Oh, is that his channel? Interesting. Okay, let's talk about this. Perhaps I tell you what, I'll just get this pulled up here. And then let me pause this music. We'll go, here's what we'll do. We'll do this one. Okay. Then we'll talk Spider-Man Noir. Then I want to watch somebody break down the X-Men 97 trailer. That's what I want to do, okay? That's what we're going to do. Okay, so the Russo brothers at it again with this square. I still have the filter on from when we did the Spider Noir thing. By the way, thanks for everybody that was there for the Spider-Man Noir watch party and that watched later on as well. Man, that was a good ass time. I had a good time. I hope you did as well. Okay, well, let me show you this actually freaking green thing here so that this makes more sense to you. So, Russo brothers, they've been teasing stuff, okay? You know, they did that one, I forget what it was. It was a image on the set and they were like, look closely or pay attention. They keep doing these cryptic little posts and teases. It's par for the course for what they did at their previous Marvel tenure when they were teasing Infinity War and Endgame, et cetera, et cetera. So more teases, more stuff going on. This time, one that really, really set the internet on fire. It's a big old green fucking square. Okay, seriously, that's what it is. So they posted this on their Instagram. It's a big old green square, no gradients. Every pixel is the same color. And they tagged 5 different accounts on there. This included Robert Downey Jr., Agbo, I don't know, some other ones, a bunch of standard ones. But the 5th account that was tagged that was different was South by Southwest London, which is I believe it's a film festival that will start on Monday of next week. Okay. And so everybody's trying to figure out what is the deal with this green square. And, everybody's had their own, versions, and there's been a lot of cool theories, and people are thinking of different things. I guess I'll first ask chat, and I'm going to regret it. I'll first ask chat if they had any ideas or theories about it. I saw some of you guys talking about this on the Discord already. But chat, what do you think? What are your theories? What were your theories about it? Green lives matter. Not a bad theory. Not a bad theory. Olive green. Yes, it's a picture of the final battle set. My Name of Doom. Yes. Green square got more mentions than Supergirl. That's actually probably true. This will literally get more views than the Supergirl trailers and the Supergirl movie. Holy shit, they are really boned on that one. Doom lives matter. Wow, chat, you're living up to my expectations here. Not in necessarily a good way, but I guess at least you're consistent. Trailer debut coming probably. The hex code reveals the date. Okay, so let's talk about that. So the hex code. So what is a hex code? Anybody know? Any of you geniuses out there know what a hex code is? Let's not act like we all fucking graduated school with honors here. Hex codes, it's some kind of code for the HTML. The files are in the computer. Look here, see? Every color that you see on the internet has a code corresponded to it that is then pulled from the website to show up on the screen. It's basically how that shit works. So people were clever to figure that out and to look at it. The problem is a lot of people just took the image itself and then tried to figure out what the hex code is. That's not how you do it. You actually have to examine the actual HTML code that is on the website, the Instagram page itself. It will tell you in no uncertain terms what codes it is actually pulling. So everybody did it wrong because everybody's stupid. But right idea. And in fact, somebody in the comments got very close using numerology, pulling out the RGB codes for the individual hex code and trying to decipher a date. I think they were actually a little bit off. But I think the date, when actually corrected for the slight variance that they missed, was like 20% off. I think it would say June 1st. And because of the tag of South by Southwest London, because South by Southwest London actually does start on Monday, and because the Russo brothers announced a major partnership with South by Southwest London just before the Doomsday announcement, I think it means that you'll be getting something Avengers Doomsday connected to South by Southwest London, which will be probably because Agbo and the Russo signed this big deal, and it's all it's a business arrangement, right? Does that mean Downey will be there? Probably. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine if they're shooting in London, there's no reason he can't pop over for a little bit. I guess the obvious question is this the trailer? Don't think so. I don't think so. It probably will have some footage shown or something, maybe even that one trailer that we never got to see that for, remember they had like the super secret technology with the lasers and they were taking people out and Steven Seagal was popping out of chairs and stuff. Very wild. So maybe they'll do something like that again and have like folks actually getting reprimanded or whatever. I don't know what the security is there at whatever facility they're going to be at. So maybe we get like another trailer or that same trailer and people get wowed by it. It's also possible Downey comes out and says some stuff. The Russos say some stuff. And to me, I mean, I don't know, like for you guys, maybe you're just like, I just want the trailer at this point. But for me, I am still enjoying all of the little updates that they're giving. I'm enjoying anytime Downey opens his mouth about it. Even like he's been doing interviews that are completely unrelated, and a little bit here and a little bit there, you know, like that voice for the Hollywood Star thing with Emily Blunt, etc. So I'm enjoying all of these crumbs and morsels as they fall from the table to us peasants below. But maybe some of you are getting frustrated with it. That is totally fair. Of course, I also have to say, like, I could be completely fucking wrong here, dude. It's a fucking green square. We don't know, okay? But I do think the line of thinking that I have is actually pretty solid, and I would expect it correlates to next week and South by Southwest London. With all of that said, what do you make of that, chat? Do you think I'm absolutely crazy? Do you understand what I'm saying here? What are your thoughts? And what would be satisfying at this point from a next little look at Doomsday? Do you think they should show something? Because here's the problem. It seems like they can't just show us something. It has to be the trailer. We technically haven't had a fucking trailer yet. Dune has had a trailer. That's crazy. Dune's like, I got your IMAX shit, and I got a trailer out, bitch. You know what I mean? Doomsday technically has like these 4 trailers, but the Russo said those aren't trailers. So they're going to call the first whatever this next one is, they're going to call it the first trailer. I don't even think it's the one from the Comic-Cons. I think they're calling that a Comic-Con trailer, and they're going to kind of keep that behind closed doors. But it's almost like at this point, Spider-Man, Brand New Day, they could do anything, bro. They could show us a sizzler reel. They could show us a snippet. They could show us another trailer at a Comic-Con. They've already released a trailer. It's already broken records. Like, they're Gucci. They don't need to... They're not restricted in the same way that Doomsday is. Does that make sense? So I'm really interested to see what they show next week, if this is indeed what they're teasing there. Chat, what do you think? Heather must be a green belt in Taekwondo. Jesus Christ. It has not felt like the greatest marketing campaign ever. That's true. And it's probably just because of the distance, right? It has this sort of initial smash with the trailers in front of Avatar, the 4 trailers. I did think that was cool. You know, they all leak, and the last one wasn't that great, right? But I did think that was really cool. But yeah, they've super backed off of it. I would say, though, we know there's another trailer. It's just weird that we haven't seen it. But we know there's another trailer that's out there, and a lot of people saw it, and we were very excited to talk about it. But you're right, it doesn't feel like this, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're doing, but I am saying that they took the foot off the gas, and it has certainly felt like that. Like, we can feel the foot off the gas. You know what I mean? But, yeah, fair point. Storm Break Fitness with a 5 spot says, I can't help to think it has to do with Doom Tony connection, considering today's date is Tony's MCU birthday, but I'm probably just reaching. Well, you know what? You've got to reach to figure shit out. It's just like you reach and then maybe you're like, all right, maybe that one wasn't it or whatever. But there's nothing wrong with reaching, man. That's a good way to find things, you know? Keeping the trailer away from us creates more hype than giving it to us this early. I agree, but I think there's also the reality that you have to live with a bit of frustration and tension when you do that. And I think they know that. But these days, man, and I only know this because, like, I live on the internet. I make a living here on the internet. I'm forced to be in front of chat and like multiple days, and I'm just like, what the fuck? What I'm trying to say is, these people on the internet are real fucking whiny, dude. I'm sorry, it's true. You guys are so fucking whiny. You're gonna fucking whine about this shit, and then like other people are like, I want to get on that whining too, man. You know, oh shit, how do I get in on this? And then it becomes this whole thing on Twitter, and everybody's blah 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 blah. Love you guys, you know, but it's true. You guys are ridiculous. So I guess when you do something like that, you have to, number one, know the risk. You also have to just understand that we are living in the internet age. People are going to get butthurt, and that will mean something. I don't know that it'll be, you know, the end all be all, but it's absolutely something that's going to happen. That reaction is real. Ain't nobody so mad it'll affect anything. If anything, they're just amplifying the anticipation. Yeah, no, I think so too. Nice. Glad you're here from Harrisburg. That's a little ways out from me, but glad you're here. The fact that you have managed to endlessly make content out of this movie with little to no new info is both impressive and sad. Yeah, I'll just take that as a compliment. I am something of a wizard. My life is absolutely incredible. And yeah, we're just going to keep it going. So appreciate you, man. Thank you. Peep the Spidey and Punisher new look. It's so gas. Is it really? Let's see. Like a poster? Is that what you're saying? A poster? Oh, okay, from Empire. Wow, they do look pretty good there. I was ready to say something snarky and kind of be a dick about it, but that looks pretty good. Let's pull this up for you guys. That looks pretty good. Oh, yeah, I guess we could Tom in there, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good looking, man. Unhinged Punisher, unhinged Hulk. Peter getting desperate. Man, that's getting my Peter to tingle right now. You add Jean Grey into that mix? Holy shit, that's incredible. All right, chat, I see you. I see you. Yeah, that's a good call. Good call to look at that. All right, any other thoughts? Any other thoughts on this here segment here? Peter ain't gonna like all that killing. Yeah, but he'll probably stop him from killing a lot of people. You know what I mean? Learning how to stream. Was wondering, how do you put photos in your camera on screen at the same time? Is it like a Steam Deck? Wait, what? I don't know what you're talking about, brother. Punisher going to take Peter's girl. That would be crazy, dude. That would be pretty wild. Let's talk about Supergirl now. What? What is there to talk about Supergirl about? Is there some new stuff? New info? New trailer? Do you think they will delay Secret Wars? I don't think so, no. We need concrete stuff. Tired of these leaks. We're trying to decipher everything. Yeah, but you'll get concrete stuff when you get a little bit closer to it. It's hard to ask for concrete stuff this far out. This is the space in the distance at which you would receive non-concrete stuff. You know what I mean? You didn't see my super, says Zach with all caps. He's so mad about it. All right, fine, Zach. Let me see here. All right. I'm so late. Much love, everybody. I appreciate you, Josh Revenge for life. Thanks, buddy. Heather is learning Taekwondo in season 3. Jesus. I didn't see Backrooms, but I did see Bathrooms. Wild shit. Wait, what? What the fuck? Backrooms is about a location called Backrooms in an infinite and super unknown. It's very scary paranormal shit down there. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, I think I got... Heather is the key to everything, Jesus Christ. All right, I think I got all the supers there. Awesome. All right, let's call it a segment there, chat. Let's call it a segment there. Let's gush about Spider-Man Noir. Can I just gush about Spider Noir for a while? Real quick. Y'all seen it yet? Throw a 1 into the chat. Have you seen it? Backrooms his cheeks. Y'all seen it? Not yet. Yes. 1. 1. So good. Nice. I have not. All right. I'll try not to do spoilers then. Seems like some of you have not seen it. I'll try not to do spoilers when I gush about this shit. But I am going to gush about it. Okay. So let's talk about Spider Noir. And here's the thing. You guys know me at this point. Some of you do. Some of you just wandered into the stream like a child wandering into a movie theater with zero context, wondering what the hell is going on. But a lot of you know me, and I'm not one to be hyperbolic. Okay, I don't ever get way too hyped about things and put unrealistic expectations on projects, shows, things of that nature. Really, it's not my thing. I'm usually well reserved enthusiasm curbed, expectations set properly. But in the case of Spider-Noir, I had high expectations, man. And I honestly kind of saw the show as some kind of like hope for the genre. And I really ultimately feel, after watching the show the whole way through in black and white on the watch party that we did, and then watching 3 episodes so far in color, and I'm going to finish it off in color, I feel like the show is what we needed. I think it is that thing that I wanted it to be. For once, my ridiculously high expectations of a project were met and maybe exceeded. I actually believe in some ways, and maybe it's a recency bias thing, but I actually believe in some ways that this show literally saved the comic book genre in live action shows, movies, etc. Because even though I am very excited for Doomsday, and even though I do feel as though Marvel and the Marvel Cinematic Universe is making some changes in the right direction, and they're adjusting things in a way that I want to be adjusted, I still think ultimately they're going to be held back a bit because they're Disney, and because I think people are really over that Disney stuff. And it's like, as much as they might try to like wash it out or hide that fact, like it's just going to be there and people are going to recognize it. Like the Disney of it all is just kind of gross. And I think that's really going to hold Marvel back. You might not agree, but I really believe that. And the other thing that I think is going to hold Marvel back is that they're hyper focused on getting back to where they once were, which is all well and good because where they were was an incredible place. But I still think that even if they return to form, the fandom in a lot of ways has adjusted their expectations. They've become a lot more discerning and also are looking for something truly fresh. Okay. And so I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I am excited for Doomsday. I am excited for Secret Wars. I am excited for the potential of what the X-Men Mutant Saga could be. But Marvel, like, I guess here's another way to say it. Marvel at one time changed the comic book genre and literally kind of saves Hollywood's ass and becomes the tentpole and the most dominant thing for like at least a decade. Those movies would make consistent money every single year. It got to a point where they were making a shit ton of money every single year. And they like, it's just so wild what they did in the 3 years that ran up to Endgame and, you know, Infinity War before it. It was really something to behold. I think it's a part of why we are literally all here right now. I'm not even kidding. Like, if the Marvel Cinematic Universe had not done what it did, I don't think we are here. I don't think I create a channel that can sustain a fucking family and shit, right? Like, I don't think you guys even care enough to go out and watch this shit on the internet. Marvel and Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios deserves an incredible amount of credit for changing the genre, changing the space, getting normies to accept these characters in a way that they simply had not before. With that being said, I don't know that that takes the genre forward. There's a concern I have that even Doomsday and Endgame might be perfect for me, because it's going to sort of return to form of these things that I really like, these lingering threads, the stories and characters that I really fucked with. And yet, it might not be what the genre needs to grow beyond. Like, I hope that makes sense, okay? And I think this show with Nick Cage, I see some flashes of brilliance, some true freshness that could is, I think, the important word, be that next phase that the genre so desperately needs. And I want to talk a little bit about this. So let me just gush about the whole show, and then kind of I'll bring it full circle back to why this is so important to the genre. So The first thing I just got to say about it is Nick Cage is incredible. I don't know if you guys remember this, but I was talking about this show probably way too early, like I always fucking do. And it was actually before Nick Cage had officially signed. And I actually had some sources and some people that were like, dude, you should not be talking about this because, like, what if it gets blown up and he doesn't do it or whatever? And I know there was like a negotiation, obviously, and like a money thing or whatever. But I remember at the time just being so fucking excited that he would do it. Now, listen, I'm a Cage head. Okay, I love Nick Cage, love all his movies, love the indie run he went on. I love all these different things that he's done, dude. The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent is amazing. Dream Scenario is absolutely epic. It's just, like, dude, I really like Nick Cage. I think he's it's funny because, like, I want to say I think he's actually a pretty good actor, and he is, but he's Nick fucking Cage. You know what I mean? It's like a very specific slice of what he's going to do as an actor. But I do think he has range that people don't appreciate, and I do think he is a craftsman. Like, he actually takes the craft very seriously, and I think that's great. And so, dude, just getting him in general was such a crazy get, and I'm getting some... I don't know if you guys are experiencing this at all, man. You know, it's early days still. It just came out. But I've had some normies in my life, some aunts, some cousins hit me up. What's this Nick Cage Spider-Man thing? Okay? And that's important because Nick Cage does have that kind of draw. I mean, he was a literal movie fucking star for probably at least 15, 20 years, and then, you know, still very recognizable, maybe not top level A-list talent, but still Nick fucking Cage, still like a known entity. And I think it very much has permeated the zeitgeist for many, many years. Dude, people like Nick Cage, and he's very popular. That's awesome. And you can kind of see how even Kevin Feige has kind of adjusted his thinking on this in this particular thing, going after bigger names for things. I mean, dude, we heard they are actually pursuing Daniel Day-Lewis, rather, for Magneto. I don't know if they'll get him, but that's fucking crazy, dude. They're going after maybe the greatest living actor ever for the role of Magneto, right? So they're understanding this too. Something needs to change in the genre, and we maybe need to lean in on some of these stars, these names, these talents. So I think that that's cool. The only other thing that's crazy about Cage, he's so fucking memeable, dude. Did y'all see the Complex interview where they're doing a F, Marry, Kill, and he doesn't get it, and he's just talking about how he really likes Andrew Garfield's performance as Spider-Man? And then they're like, so F, Marry, Kill, and he's just like, I don't know what that means. Dude, he's so memeable. There's plenty of memes that'll come out of the show, but even the interviews and the way that he's like promoting it's so memeable, and I think there's actually value there. The younger audience is embracing him as Nick Cage, the out-of-touch movie star from the 80s and 90s. But, like, he exists as he is. This isn't like a fucking J.D. Vance, you know, the fat guy, meme guy that's twirling around doing kung fu. No, it's Nick fucking Cage, and he just slots into the meme culture as Nick fucking Cage. And it just works. It just works. And I think that there's actually value there. The other thing is, like, dude, I think he's a good actor. But this role being specifically tailored for him is magic. Like, dude, it's magic because he can go full Cage in a way that feels right for the character. He has these weird tics and these things, and then the way he's watching the movies and he's repeating it and all this stuff. Like, you can see him, Nick Cage himself, actually playing and doing the weird Nick Cage stuff that he's always done. And yet the show is written so intelligently that they're giving him runway in scenes where the Cageism will help the story. It's crazy. I'm fucking in awe, bro. I was like, wow, this is so crazy. So Nick Cage, such an incredible get. And I'm really, I'm pumped, man. I'm pumped that it exists in the way that it does, that people get to experience it. But I'm also pumped for him. I think this is going to be fantastic. You know, he said something in an interview this week about how when he was never going to do television, which, by the way, did you know he's never done television before? Like, that in and of itself is crazy. Never done television before. And he said the show that made him want to do television was Breaking Bad. He said he watched Cranston just stare at this suitcase for a minute. And he's like captivated just watching Cranston work. And he said he realized that if I had 8 hours of space to play as a performer, what kind of time, what kind of room to breathe, what space, what could I do with that as an actor? And that's something that really intrigued him. That's fucking cool, dude. Because he eats in basically every scene in the show. It's incredible. And I think he really wanted to show something with this. And again, like obviously I'm slobbing on the knob right now, but I fucking love the show. So shut the fuck up. I'm going to keep doing it. So let's talk about the writing. The writing really surprised me, dude. I mean, I'm just going to say it, man. I think there's Tarantino-esque dialogue all over this thing. That's right. I said it. I think there's Tarantino level dialogue all over this show. So many little one-liners back and forth. Even in the first episode where she's talking about having her nails done and he's like sharpened too, you know? And like the subtext is really what pulls it all together. It's beautiful subtext, but it's like dripping with style. It's so cool. So I think the dialogue is Tarantino-esque, man. I think it has Hitchcock level twists and turns, dude. I truly mean that, and I didn't even expect this. There's like the craftiness of this character, what he pulls off in certain episodes, especially leading to the finding of the rat. I'll try to be non-spoilery, right? That is some like really clever writing. You know, we give a lot of credit to Jack Schaefer and that episode 7 of Agatha All Along, because like that's legitimately a very hard thing to write, a time travel full circle closed moment thing that ties into everything that happened in the show. That's difficult to write, and you gotta give credit where credit is due. That was an incredible show, or that was an incredible episode within a pretty decent show. This show is written so smart, and I'm even appreciating it more on my watch through. Like one of the things that really stuck out to me in my second watch through, and I'll try to say this without spoiling, his right hand man, Winston. Watch Winston, listen to Winston, what Winston says to Silvermane, considering what happens to him. It's like, wow, he was maybe one of the only honest guys in the whole show at first. It's like wild. I'm like, wow, this is like really, really well written. I'm telling you, man, it has depth, man. It has, and I'm going to say, it has David Lynch level weirdness, spookiness, and body horror. And I didn't expect that either. Crazy stuff. The way that the visions happen, the way the flashbacks happen, what actually happens with the powers, where the superpowers come from. I'll try to, not be spoilery with that too. But legitimately, like, gives you chills, spooky as fuck, like really fun body horror and psychological, like visual language that's expressing psychological distress in a way that's like very effective and surprisingly sophisticated for what I was expecting from this show. And then all that sophistication is wrapped up in a boyish charm. It feels like an old-timey comic book in a way that would make Jack Kirby and Stan Lee smile. The writing is doing heavy lifting in the show. And I honestly, like, there's some parts of, like, the action to me was a little bit lacking. There's even maybe a pacing issue you could potentially point out in the show. But the writing was so much better than I had expected it to be, and I think it's going to be a huge part of why the show works as well as it does and continues to be spread around. Like, I legitimately think it's incredible. The last thing you got to say about the show that really did surprise me is the craftsmanship, the cinematography, the set design, the casting, like the costumes, and the other. This is what's really crazy is like apparently I don't know if this is true. This is what some people are saying. Apparently they shot the whole show in black and white, and then the studio said we need a color version. They reshot the whole show, guys, because they needed it to match up. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true. Maybe more on that will come out. But potentially Cage came back and shot the whole show again, and then the visual department had to create a color palette in color that would feel satisfying to the aesthetic and the vibe of the show, and also translate into black and white. And I'm sure there's like heavy edits done, on both versions or whatever. But like, dude, I've watched both versions. They're both a visual feast. It's actually insane. They deserve a fucking pat on the back, a raise or something. This is incredible work. The craftsmanship is on point. On top of that, the scene selection, the sound design, it's like, who made this show? Like, who are these people, dude? Because it's just made with such care. And that really matters. Even little shots, even like establishing shots, man. It's all framed in crazy ways. There's so much of like these mirrors done. It's really, really interesting. And then the cast themselves, holy shit, they absolutely nailed it. Silvermane is a perfect villain. Frankly, I'm not trying to shit on Kingpin, but they kind of made him into the whiny bitch boy, like autistic murder kid. And that's fine. But Silvermane is just this like super fucking imposing, crazy gangster guy that's always a couple of steps ahead of everybody. And it works, dude. It works for the show. Gleason eats every scene. It's incredible. The main gal, absolutely incredible with depth, and also she's complex, nuanced. It's wild. She really pulls the show together. She's incredible, but also really well written, but of course really well performed as well. Cage himself does his thing. The ensemble around him, the secretary and Robbie, holy shit. I wonder, again, who's the casting director? Who put this together? Because the chemistry between those three is awesome. You need that for the show. Like, you need that. Like, all great shows have that glue of your central cast. Like that, it's the people at the bar and Cheers. It's the friend group of Seinfeld. It's the friends. It's it's in the Arrowverse. It's the guy in the chair, Cisco, and all that. You need that crew. It's the glue, and they're absolutely great together. They're really, really good. So, man. Now I'll actually talk about a couple of ways that the show fell short for me, but I'm actually going to suggest that this isn't as bad as you would think. I think there are a couple of blemishes. I think there's a couple of things that could be tightened up. The first episode, although on a rewatch when you know what happens, is really, really good. It doesn't necessarily grab you as maybe a first episode should. And I don't know, it doesn't seem to be necessarily working against the show. But if you look at a lot of the reviews, a lot of people have that one as like an 8.3, and then it kind of goes up from there. The last three are like in the 9s. And I think that's fair. Again, not bad, but just maybe not the strongest opening. And I do think in the next season, they should probably come out swinging just a little bit more right away. So that's potentially, one little blemish. I also think the action needs a big upgrade. The catharsis is great, and I think there's a lot operating well for what happens in the fights, but the fights themselves are too short. There's not enough great action. There's a couple of scenes that are really, really good, but overall, as the story is building, as the stakes are getting higher and higher, that is not actually matched with the action. And I do think the action needs a little bit of an upgrade. There's another thing too, that it's just a small thing, but a lot of us noticed it. When Cage has the mask on towards the end of the show and he talks, the mouth moves. When Robbie talks, I guess that's slight spoiler. When other people are in the mask, the mouth moves. When the main guy, I think is a Filipino guy, that does the stunts, he doesn't move his mouth at all. And it's weird. It's a little weird, because it's like, I hear Cage talking, the mouth isn't moving. That's not great. not super immersive. I would change that. And then, yeah, I would just upgrade the action a little bit. Maybe bring in an outside stunt team, you know, maybe talk to some other people at Marvel and try to figure that out. This could also be a part of the limitations of the budget. When they went back to reshoot it for the color, you know, maybe they had to restrict it a little bit. And maybe that's a reason as to why, right? So, yeah, I would say a couple of blemishes here and there. But overall, it soars on the wings of its ambition and its freshness in a way that I really fucking needed, to be honest. So I'm loving the show. And I think that one of the best parts about it is there's room to grow. They can make it even better. And the other thing that's cool is, like, in the show, he'd been retired for 5 years. He was off his game. If this is a big enough hit and they bring Cage back and he wants to do more, Cage can get in a little bit of better shape. I'm not saying he has to spin around and actually do the stunts, but he can get in a little bit better shape. That would actually work canonically, diegetically in the story, because the Spider would be getting into better shape if he's going to stick around, right? And then, therefore, maybe then the action also improves. It's a little bit like Cap 1 to Winter Soldier, right? Like, when you get into Winter Soldier, Captain America is bouncing that thing off 16 walls, hitting motherfuckers like it's crazy. So something like that would be really nice to see in a second season. But other than that, I'm incredibly satisfied, dude. Is that enough gushing? Is that enough gushing for you? I really like the show. Any questions? Any thoughts? I also agree the mindless bodyguard part was ass, but the character design was amazing. Yeah. First couple episodes make you feel like you're in for a super high budget show, but it turns out to be more of a typical TV series budget after that. Yeah, that's fair. I think it leans on its writing, which I would have a problem with if the writing wasn't, like, amazing, you know, because you're right. It doesn't really go spectacle like that. Think Spider Noir will be in Secret Wars? No. I doubt it. Be kind of fun, though. On the rewatch, and intro goes hard. Yes, the intro's cool, man. The intro's cool. The music's cool. I just think there's, like, a lot of great craftsmanship in the show, you know? Yeah. Lord and Miller were the producers on it, by the way. Oh, I know that. Yeah, no, Amy was a producer on it, and Nick Cage is a producer on it, and Lord and Miller are a producer on it too. This Uzi fellow, Uzi something, I forget his name. I was looking at the credits last night. He wrote and directed the first episode, and may well have been something like the showrunner. Like, maybe he was the lead writer, the show Bible guy. He deserves a lot of credit. We'll dig more into that though and find out. I need that Nick Cage Ghost Rider cameo in Secret Wars. The theater gonna go wild. Yeah, absolutely, dude. And I think that's gonna happen still. But I guess we'll see. Lil Uzi Vert. Oh, okay, yeah, no, he did great. Do a kickflip. Tombstone was great. Elektra was awesome. Flint Marko was amazing. The whole show, dope. Yeah, man, and I love the reimagining. Like, that's something we need. To take it back to the Marvel thing, right? The MCU thing. What I was talking about at the beginning of the video. At the time when Marvel was kind of going and getting started, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we had never seen accurate comic book shit by people that sort of cared and also understood what made the comic book shit great. You know? Even Nolan's Batman. Like, it's great, but that's not really comic book Batman. You know what I mean? Number one, he's not detective-y enough. Number two, the way he fights is absurd. Like, like, it's like, nah, that's not Batman. Batman's a fucking ninja, dude. And so Marvel was giving us the comic book shit. Like, it felt like, oh my God, they get it. This is Thor. Holy shit, this is Cap. Oh my God, that is Iron Man, right? But after like 10 plus years of that, that's not gonna do the same shit for us. Like, it's not gonna be like, it's cool to see maybe Sentry and he's like, oh shit, like, that's the Sentry. But is it as cool as it was 10 years ago when nobody else had done it? What I'm telling you is, I don't think that's good enough anymore. And what you need is a new twist on an old lemon. You need something that still has all of the charm and all of the aspects from the comics that got people into it in the first place, but twisted up in a way that's basically giving you something new, a fresh take. And that's why I'm so pumped about Spider Noir, because, bro, like, they could do another season of this. They can also do another version of this show. Like, do Spider-Gwen, but she actually killed Peter Parker in her universe because he turned into the Lizard, like in the comic books. So she's a murderer that killed Peter. And it's dark. You know what I mean? Do Kane, Scarlet Spider, and he goes to Houston, and he breaks up one last drug deal because he's going to jump the border into Mexico. But oh wait, it's a human trafficking thing, and he's like, "Fuck, one more job, I'll stop this, and then I'll go." He becomes the reluctant hero. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much fun. You could do Penny Parker or Spider-Man 2099 Miguel in the future, actual retro techno feudalism. It could be amazing. So. You've now cracked into a new way of doing this, where we take deep genre cuts of the comic book characters and we lean into the genre. No data? You ain't got no data? What the hell? No data? What the hell? Well, I guess I could just, since it's definitely not back, I could probably just make an exit and go paint some Warhammer, and we'll get on out of here, call it a day. I'm just glad that it froze and didn't come back so that I can get on out of here. I'm definitely not talking to anybody right now because we're not back.
The following program, though.
I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just fooling. I don't know what that was. But yeah, we got that. Okay. All right. All right. This guy thinks he's a comedian. Hey, did I tell you guys? Volume? What? Did I tell you guys that this is the last stream with this setup? This is the last time you're going to see all that shitty foam hanging off the walls in the background. You know? Damn, what a day. You said that earlier? Okay, geez, fine. All right, let's do, did he really do the part 3 of the Q&A, Alex Perez? Did Alex drop part 3 of the Cosmic Circus Q&A? The audacity! I think he did. What's up with that, dog? What's up with that? All right, I guess we'll do it. This will be our final segment of the day then. No X-Men 97 Season 2 trailer for you. Huh? The audio's muted? Oh no, the audio's gone. I think we'll probably have to call the stream then, since the audio's not working. Josh, go to Discord. Brand new day Spidey with MJ pics. What does that mean? MJ pics? This is what you made me look at? Zendaya and Spider-Man painting Warhammer? Yeah, so if you didn't know, Zendaya and Spider-Man both get into Warhammer in Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is how they rekindle their love. Because every lady knows that wargamers are great in the sack. That means with sex. Yeah, sorry, spoilers. Spoilers for the movie. They both get into Warhammer. Okay, can we now do what I want to do? Jesus. All right, we got another one of these Q&As from the Cosmic Circus. Come one, come all. As we explore what Alex Perez and Lizzie Hill have to say about Marvel and shit. Here we go. First one today says, is E-Man Esfandi's character one and done like Liz in Spider-Man Homecoming? He says, ha 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 ha. There's a bit more layer to E-Man's character. Let's just say they won't last long if Spider-Man has anything to say about it. What, he's going to kill him? I can't believe Alex just confirmed that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to brutally murder Ezra Bridger in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That's wild. Go spread that on Twitter. In as much depth as you can, how would you summarize Peter's arc in Brand New Day, as well as his role as an iconic hero at this stage of his life? Alex says, he's basically buried Peter Parker. Ooh, I like that. Play on words, perhaps, Mr. Perez? I'll see you after class in my office. He has obsessed himself with being Spider-Man. Think of Robert Pattinson as Batman. I'd rather not. That's what you're looking for, except Peter uses his jokes and mask as a defense and coping mechanism. Okay, so that sounds kind of cool. This is something that Alex continues to talk a lot about and not a lot of other people talk about. And in fact, some other people have said might be an understated part of the movie. I am curious as to why Alex is interested in this. The Robert Pattinson Batman thing is interesting because, you know, Destin and others have mentioned that the tone of this one's going to be way different. And it does kind of seem like sad boy Peter Parker lost his girl. Powers going crazy. He's going through some kind of spider puberty thing. And his girl's getting fucking dug out by a Jedi. You know what I mean? So, yeah, not a great year. And, you know, what will that do to him? And how can he cope? Nobody knows that he's Peter. Peter's getting buried. He's just obsessed with being Spider-Man. Maybe that's where all the gadgets come from, all the tinkering, all that sort of stuff. Maybe that's why he got into Warhammer. Yeah, kind of interesting there. Okay, let's keep going. Next question. Destin Daniel Crichton mentioned at New York's Comic-Con playing a character in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Would you say this movie portrays that strong connection between a hero and his city? You could say that New York is divided in how it feels about Spider-Man. That makes sense to me. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay, next question. I'm a bit concerned about the amount of plot lines in Brand New Day that we could have an Iron Man 2 situation. So my question is, how overstuffed would you say the movie is? That's a fair question. Chat, I wonder what you guys think. Are you also concerned about this? I think that's like a legit question. You know? I think that's a legit question. But Zendaya is getting overstuffed by fucking Ezra Bridger, you know what I mean? Okay, so he says, I don't think it's overstuffed. To be honest, it does the job just right of getting a set with Peter Parker that has developed a new rogues gallery with a couple of avenues to explore in future films. Okay, yeah. So he's kind of suggesting that how it seems like it's overstuffed is probably just mostly the montage. Next question. Is there anything you can say about the structure of the film based on what we've seen so far? For example, Destin Daniel Crichton mentioned the tank sequence as the opening. Does that mean Jean freeing herself from DODC is early in the movie with Hulk stuff in the hand later on? Oh, that's a good question, man. That's a good question. From what you've seen so far, most of the trailer shots have been from the first act. There's one that's a complete misdirect at the beginning of the trailer. There's a couple of sequences from what I would personally consider the start of the second act, around when Banner gets involved. Ooh, that's some context. And a couple of near the end of the second act with Jean in the hand. Second act. End of the second act with Jean in the hand. and only 2 shots of what he would consider the third act. That's going to take some brain power. I'm going to need to think about that a little bit more, but I think Alex is giving some stuff away here, and that's cool. So, appreciate the vague king, and we'll try to decipher that. Very interesting. So, one misdirect at the beginning, couple of sequences you would consider the start of the second act, a couple near the end of the second act, meaning Gene in the hand. That's the prison shit. And only 2 shots of what I consider to be the third act. Very interesting. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. We'll think more about that later on. All right, let's get into the Thunderbolts questions here. Thunderbolts director is working on X-Men. It certainly seems like Marvel likes how it was received. So I'd like to ask whether they're planning to continue the Thunderbolts story in a dedicated sequel or through other projects. Alex says you could say that, although I'm not sure it will be the same team. Yeah, I think I know where he's going with that, and maybe we don't tease any more about that. And I think we want to wait and see what happens in these next 2 Avengers movies to see what's going on with the Avengers, right? Okay. So next question. I rewatched Thunderbolts yesterday, so related question, mandatory. Exciting involving the new Avengers besides Bob Century. My second question is derivative because I'm curious about Ava and/or Walker's role in the next movies. Okay, so Alex says, in Doomsday and Avengers, not really much outside of Yelena, Bob, and Alexei. Their future, though, is very interesting because Valentina is one sneaky bitch, and she really just loves to collect superpowered people and mercenaries and then pit them against each other. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'd love to see Bullseye taking shots at Bucky, or Red Guardian and Bob sizing up Abomination. And imagine if Ghost ended up seeing a ghost of her past, but it's not really her, it's just someone else. That's be wicked, do you think? I don't know what the fuck he's trying to say with that shit. Yeah, so I guess he's sort of suggesting that Yelena, Bob, and Alexei are the core parts of the next Avenger, or in the story that will happen with the Thunderbolts in the next movies. That makes sense to me. Yeah, Bullseye, I mean, it's cool. I didn't watch, Board Again Season 2, so I can't really speak too much to that. Them messing around with Abomination. You talking about some West Coast Avengers shit? That could be fun. Welcome to the Thunderbolts post-Secret Wars. Read above. Yeah. A lot of people curious about that. That's cool. Okay, so he's just telling people to read above. That's funny. When do you think we'll see Bob next after Secret Wars? Bob, I think, might disappear for a while after Secret Wars. What? Like, no cap. Guy really might want to just retire from it all after the hell they put him through. And that's in Doomsday alone. Uh-oh. Definitely seems like some shit's going on with Bob. Yeah, those leaks, the leaked concept art with Bob being chained up. I don't know. Yeah, it seems like that's probably real, huh? Okay, Vision Quest, which, by the way, I should say I saw the trailer. It's incredible. I'm actually excited about Vision Quest. I know. I talk a lot of shit on Marvel Disney Plus, and I will. I'll do again. I will do it again. But hey, that trailer was good. Okay, so we're asking about Tommy here. Is it comparable how much screen time Joe Locke and Billy had in Agatha? Yes, Tommy Cleavage pops up near the end of the first episode, and then every episode thereafter. That's good. Regarding Vision Quest, Paladin, and Madripoor, any chance that Mr. Charles and Valentina have their fingers in there too? Regarding Madripoor, I would personally be surprised if they managed to side with an artificial intelligence. Regarding Paladin, not really. Maybe it's classified. Okay. UT's Vision Quest had a connection to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and had to do with AI. Can you elaborate on that at all? It has to do with AI. Okay, interesting. Miscellaneous Marvel, Lady Gaga, and other topics. What is this? Lady Gaga? Okay, Cyclops casting. Oh, yes, remember, people look at the most recent Disney projects, find the lead actor in those. They're your best bet. Find the actors. Okay, that makes sense to me. Hey, Alex and Lizzie, hope you're doing well. Thanks for blah, blah, blah. Can you offer an insight as Marvel Studios had any discussions with Sophie Thatcher in the past? Who the fuck is Sophie Thatcher? I haven't heard anything about her having discussions with Marvel, but I could see her as Rogue. Oh, yeah, is that gal they thought was going to be Rogue? Interesting. Any discussions with Ellie Fanning? Sorry. Oh, yes. She had a couple of talks in the past. Marvel Studios has their eye on her. Other random names that I've been hearing thrown around are Lakeith Stanfield, Damson Idris, John David Washington, Samara Weaving, Jodie Turner-Smith, Teyana Taylor, Brendan Thwaites. Wow, Brendan Thwaites, huh? Jacob Elderdini, Nicholas Scott. Can't these people have regular names like John Smith, Bob Green? Like, come on, man. Okay, cool. So, some names. It's pronounced Lakeith, Josh. I'm sure it is. I have no doubt that you're correct. The thing is, I can't pronounce. You're not going to teach this old dog new tricks, buddy. Okay? So we're going to offend everybody equally with how poorly I pronounce their names. Right on. Okay, thanks for the platform. Good stuff. At this point, Department of Damage go through line across multiple stories. Wanted to tell Armor Wars, or is that an oversimplification? It's an oversimplification. The Department of Damage Control was always meant to be an overarching villain in the saga, but they wanted to set it up for something much larger down the road, which I'm sure we'll get once we get to the X-Men. Okay, cool. Okay, more stuff about Val and Sharon. Sharon's been off the grid. Yeah, keep her off the grid. Hey, Alex, hope you're doing well. Will we see Valkyrie again? There's a slim chance she's in Secret Wars. Very slim. I don't know what that means. Will Marvel Studios change the title sequence using Phase 7 and just name it? I have no idea. Okay. Out of the three, Monica mainly will be in Secret Wars in the next two Avengers movies. Which, by the way, can I just say something? Can I just say something about this? And I might get in trouble for saying this, but do you guys remember when Jeff Snyder reported that there was beef on set for the Marvels between... It wasn't necessarily between Teyana and Brie, but the beef was because the studio was favoring Teyana over Brie. They'd actually changed. I believe what Jeff said was they literally rewrote some scenes to give Teyana more shine in the movie, and that Brie was offended by this. I, to this day, believe that it all had to do with the next two Avengers movies and setting up Monica instead of Carol. I legitimately think that's a part of why The Marvels is a dog shit movie, because Brie was mad and started just phoning it in. I think that she basically came to realize that the studio was trying to move in a different direction and they didn't like what was going on with her. That's why she gives that answer on the red carpet about, like, I don't know, does anybody even want me back? You know what I mean? So I, to this day, believe that this was something that happened, that Marvel Studios was like, yo, we have enough shit going on. We cannot handle fucking Brie Larson being a major part of these next couple of movies. Write her out. But I can't prove that. That's just speculation, okay? With the layoffs that occurred at Marvel last month, the future of the MCU at all, to my understanding, most would be job-to-job basis. Personally speaking, it's been a mess, completely unwarranted in my opinion. These people have been the very foundation of Marvel Studios for over a decade. He's talking about the art people, and I agree. I generally agree. And then who would Lady Gaga play? Morgan Le Fay or Celine? Yeah, those are fair answers there. So there you go. There you have it. Part 3 to the Cosmic Circus Q&A. I think we got some stuff in there. A couple things revealed, a couple things teased. Pretty interesting. Chat, do you have any thoughts? Anything to add? Rambooty over Carol? I mean, respectfully, yes. And it's not even close. Why do people keep asking about these characters every time he does a Q&A? It's always Captain Marvel, Young Avengers over and over every month. I don't think it's in every one. I think he actually breaks it down specific to different projects and probably just curates those questions for that. Yeah. Maybe the producers were more A guys than T guys. Teyana took me a second to get that. Maybe, maybe. Who knows? I like some of Gaga's songs. the fuck she know about cameras? I've seen that meme many times. I don't even know what that meme means, and I'm too afraid to ask at this point. I have a theory of who they're gonna pick to play Scott, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm very worried. Okay, hit us, bro. Hit us with the theory so that we can all worry, or maybe tell you not to worry. Tell us. Scott! Scott! Great Scott! The meme is legit a decade old, Josh. I'm older than a decade, guys. Okay, I don't know if you knew this. Spider from Avatar? Wait, let me think about this. I would like somebody maybe a little bit taller, but also he's hanging out with the blue people the whole time, so maybe he is tall. I don't know. How tall is that kid? Somebody get this kid a sandwich. She's going to bring that Joker 2 energy to any MCU title they cast her in. No! Still never seen that one. Joker Folie à Deux. Haven't seen it. All right, well, thanks for all the great feedback on all those questions, chat. Really insightful additions at the end of that segment. Thank you very much for that. All right, well, we're going to get on out of here pretty soon, but I'll hang for a little bit. Anything else on your mind? Anything else you guys want to talk about? I thought Spider Noir was kind of boring. Don't judge me. No, it's okay. I mean, I'm definitely judging you, though. You have changed how I feel about you at a deep... No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, it's different strokes, different folks, brother. Look, to me, as somebody that loves noir shit, loves Nick Cage, loves dialogue, you know, it's sort of catered almost to my tastes. So it's all good. I totally get it. Stu says, I only saw the first episode. It was all right, but expecting it to get better. Yeah, I think it does get a lot better. I like the first episode, but I also understand the ratings. Like, you look at those ratings and you're like, oh, yeah, I guess the first one was kind of lower. You know? The official Milo says superhero projects would improve by borrowing from anime and Game of Thrones. Great. Keep characters more morally consistent while the evolving world drives the story. I agree with that, actually. And I think we might start to see that happen more, yeah. Could the Secret War and battle really have been big enough if Marvel hadn't added all these crappy new characters over the past 5 years? Oh, yeah, no, I think so. I think you have the ability to make that last battle very epic, very awesome, and very big. I think there's a way to utilize these characters. Like, from what I've heard and from what I know about the story in Secret Wars, it's actually kind of clever the way they're handling it with the new characters and the old characters. So there's like a nuance there that I don't necessarily want to give away. But yeah, you could have just done it without these new characters. Is that what you're asking me? He's 6'1"? Is that the guy from what? Ain't no way, really? Okay, well then he would work, yeah. How are you going to say you like dialogue, but you don't like Andor? Please don't flip out. It's all love. No, it's all good. I mean, I've explained this a lot before, right? But I'll do it again. So, you know how the late, great Carl Weathers has that famous line of like, Mando! They all hate you, Mando. You know, and he talks like that. That's not just like some random-ass choice that he made. That's congruent to Star Wars. So Star Wars in its original form is very operatic. The dialogue is delivered with gravitas. Every scene is on the razor's edge of drama and tension. It's a soap opera. So it's never going to be Tarantino-esque dialogue in a soap opera like that. That's not how that shit works, right? So I'm certain that there's some good dialogue in Andor because they're competent writers, and within that, especially within that wheelhouse, they're talented at writing that kind of stuff. My issue is that's not Star Wars, and therefore I can't enjoy it even as it is, because to me Star Wars needs to be a very specific thing. But yeah, I've explained that like a million fucking times, but no worries. Look up Sophie Thatcher, Josh. Curious to think. What? Okay, let's see. Sophie Thatcher. Oh, I think this was a. I think they were saying she could be Rogue. Maybe I'm great. Maybe I'm wrong. She's got a lot of looks, man. Like, just looking at a bunch of this shit right here, it seems that she's had a lot of different looks. I can see some Rogue energy here, though. Yeah. Nick Cage performance still carries Spider Noir if you find the slow dialogue type stuff boring. I mean, I think so too, but again, if you're not a big Nick Cage fan, then that's not really going to do much for you, is it? By the way, I remember I had a friend back in the day that hated Nick Cage, and I brought a movie over to his house that was adaptation. And if you're not familiar with this movie, Nick Cage plays Charlie Kaufman and Charlie Kaufman's twin brother, and it's Cage on Cage. And my buddy like flipped out and turned it off, got really, really mad. It was really funny, but I actually really like that movie because I like Charlie Kaufman's work. But yeah, it's Cage on Cage, man. It's Cage on Cage. Yeah, I played most of the game since GoldenEye. I can't wait. Oh, you're talking about the new 007 game? Are people enjoying it? Is it out? Is it out? Yeah, dude. There's a lot of moments that had me laughing in Spider Noir. I thought it was actually a pretty clever show. I thought it was actually pretty clever. Oh, it dropped Thursday? Nice, man. Spike Jonze, yeah, great director. Ah, Honeycomb, that's awesome, dude. Well done. Yeah, I don't know if I'll get that one. I'm behind on all my games, brother. And there's a bunch of Warhammer games coming out that I want to play, of course. But I still have to do some more Diablo 4. I got Diablo 4 and then like haven't played it in like 2 weeks. I have been very busy, though. I know you guys don't think I do shit. Like, you must think I turn this off and then just like play video games, chill, eat snack food, take naps, and do nothing. I'm literally running around like a chicken with its head cut off these past couple of weeks. There's a lot going on that you're unaware of. But it's all good. Spider-Man trailer on Monday, too. Can't wait. Could be. Diablo is now poop from a butt. What? How so? Everybody liked the update. Everybody liked the last expansion. What are you even on about, huh? What is you even on about? You don't remember Sophie Thatcher from Boba Fett? No, I do not. I try to remember as little of Boba Fett as possible, with respect. Oh, fuck, that's from the show. Ah, fuck, that's from the show, though. Hey, any cool plans this weekend, guys? What do you guys got going on? Oh, the Vespa chick? No! I just started Space Marine 2. Forgive me, God Emperor. Oh, hell yeah. What's the tease, big dog? Tease for what? I don't know what you're talking about. Apologies. Doom's face-to-face with Ironheart. What's he say? Probably, who the fuck are you? First night anniversary this week, heading up to the mountains. Oh, nice, man. Good for you. The Russo tease. I think it is teasing that you're going to get some Doomsday stuff next week at South by Southwest London. That's what I think. I played Diablo when it was first released in the 90s. Yeah. The old Diablo? Hell yeah. It was cool. Working at my second job at the movie theater this weekend, and the wife is running a marathon in SD, so I got to take her to that. Well, that sounds fun, man. Working at a theater, it seems like kind of a chill second gig, you know? Is it all right? I don't know. I always thought working at a theater would be kind of cool. Good vibes, good smells. I'm sure it gets busy and people can be buttholes like everywhere, but outside all weekend. Good for you, brother. I'm gonna be working in this office. I gotta tear these walls down, and I got the new paneling I gotta put up. I have to install some stuff for the lights and the cameras. Any info about Doom dialogue? Does he say his name? Yeah, dude, of course. I mean, it's like one of the first things he says in the movie. Apparently there's this scene where, like, right after the post-credit scene in the Fantastic Four, Johnny and Ben are at a baseball game. They're going to get an alarm. They're going to come back. They come back to the tower, and Doom, Sue, and Reed are just there working together. And it's like they've been friends, and Johnny and Ben are like, wait, but you never mentioned this guy. And they're like, yeah, we're old friends. And then Doom turns around, and he goes, my name is Doom. And that's the start of the movie. Oh, you work in the kitchen, messy, but it's chill. Free movies, so that's nice. Oh, that is nice. Oh, okay, so you probably already had like food and beverage experience, so it's just kind of like another gig, but probably more chill than a rush at a restaurant. Yeah. My name is Dome. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.